What is up, guys? Happy Tuesday. I know we've already talked today, but I wanted to come at you with impact number 3. I was telling a story to a coworker of mine today, and this came to mind, and I thought, you know what, this is a perfect impact number 3. Well, I'll try and summarize as much as I can because there's a whole lot more to the story, and if you want details, feel free to comment below and I'll address any of those questions that I can, because the stories aren't just about me, but story isn't just about me, but I wanted to tell you guys about impact and how it is that I even exist on this planet, and the one single reason, the one single person, the one single action, not that action, guys, the one action that made it possible for me to even exist, to make other lives, my siblings' lives, exist. My father has done a lot of different work in his day, and one of these jobs was working out of the lower 48 and helping put together some concrete structures that involved some electrical work. And he was one of these individuals doing the electrical work, and they have these special little suits that you wear to make sure you don't get yourself electrocuted or shocked or whatnot. Well, they check them every time that they go in, but somehow, whether it was afterwards or if it was missed, there was a minor micro tear inside of the suit, or on the outside of the suit. And in working in these concrete structures with all this electricity, my father was actually electrocuted. And yes, I know the difference between being shocked and being electrocuted. I say he was electrocuted because his heart stopped and he was dead. It was over. Game over. Done. No more Scott Marshall the First. And well, here comes the impact. A man that he worked with, who had unfortunately seen some ugly times in his life. He was a man of war, had been to war before, worked with him and saw the situation happening. And just to give you a little bit of background on this individual, he was a very hard individual from what I know from the stories. He was caught in some, I don't know what you would want to call it, a trap in whatever, I believe it was Vietnam. I believe it was Vietnam, if I'm remembering correctly. But he got caught in a trap, basically, and his abdomen was cut open from one side to the other. Clean, open. And his insides actually came falling out. And he stuffed them back in and sewed himself up enough to run away from the people that were chasing him, trying to kill him. If that's not hardcore, I don't know what is. Point of the story is this guy was really hardcore, really intense, very loud personality, and didn't take no for an answer. And at one point, after it had been made clear that his heart had stopped and he was, for medical purposes, dead, this guy just wasn't taking it. So he gets on top of my father and is just throwing the dukes. I mean, he's hitting him in the abdomen, he's hitting him in the kidney region, he's hitting him in the ribs, slapping him in the face, screaming and yelling, and just beating the crap out of the lifeless carcass that was my dad at the time. And, I mean, it's an ugly word, but literally, his heart was stopped. He was done. It was over. It was game over. And somehow, through all this ruckus, through all this struggle and slapping and screaming and hitting, my dad woke up. My dad was alive again. You never know what your actions are going to mean in the future, not only for yourself, but for others. When that man was stuffing his insides back into his body, he was not thinking, because I do this, I'm going to get to save a man's life someday, and because of that, he's going to have multiple children and there will be more lives on this planet. He wasn't thinking about that. He was trying to stay alive. He was exercising that deepest fear rooted in all of us, the fear of death. But he impacted so many lives because of it. I exist. My brothers and sisters exists. I mean, it just, you never know. Don't take your actions for granted. Don't take your actions for granted. I'll say it one more time so that it's really in there. Don't take your actions for granted. You never know what they're going to add up to. So give 100% to everything that it is that you're doing, because it might be the one thing that counts later on. You don't know. All right, guys. Impact 3, make sure to like, share, subscribe, comment. If you guys have any questions, feel free to message me privately or put them in the comments below. Really start getting some back and forth interaction going on here, guys. This is Impact number 3. Take care.